Greetings gamers everywhere, I'm Swippy92 and sorry for the lack of videos recently, but there's been a lot going on and I've mostly been writing stuff for new videos instead of actually making them. I don't know, it just a bunch of ideas popped up in my head and I had to write it all down and write down what I wanted in them, and yeah, it didn't leave much room for actually making them. But anyway, here I am again, and well, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. And we're gonna start off with this year with, well, one of my favorite games and developers actually, but with a twist, I guess, to it is. Because I'm asking the question, are these developers taking on a little bit too much? Maybe? We're gonna take a look. As the title says, this is about the publisher and developer Game Smithing. The developers responsible for Soulstone Survivors and two new upcoming games. They recently, well, December, they announced a new game called Veil of the Soulstone. And this is another roguelike, but auto battler, and it has co-op and bunch of stuff. So we're gonna take a closer look at that and the other game they're working on and the developer themselves, because I'm asking the question here, are they taking on a little bit too much at the same time here? So here is the Veil of the Soulstones page on Steam, and well, I'm showing you the trailer soon enough. It's gonna be on the screen soon enough. We're just gonna take a quick look at the things we see here. There isn't much information on the game as of yet. It's a RPG, auto battler, roguelite, and co-op PvE game. It's for one player and co-op online. It will have Steam achievements and so on. I believe it's up to 4 players at least by if you look at the gameplay. Maybe it's 2 players and you control and you have 2 characters each. I don't know. But Veil of the Soulstones is a brutal, challenging auto battler adventure. Enter the darkness alone or with your fellow Void Hunters, where threats lurk unseen in every shadow. Explore the void fields now engulfed by the endless night. Stay vigilant and plan your next steps carefully, or they might be your last. Now, judging from the gameplay, it looks very basic when it comes to graphics and animations and all of that. So, yeah, I believe this could potentially be a game they could whip up pretty quickly, depending on what else is in the game. So far, in the trailer, we only see what's in the gameplay. We don't see any menus or any kind of skill trees or anything like that. Not that I at least remember. Now, you will be able to have multiple classes, which says select your Void Hunter, match each of the 6 playable classes. I imagine there will be more as time goes on, maybe. Hunt solo or in a group, recruit your fellow Void Hunters and face the dangers in the dark together, or hunt alone. As it doesn't say how many Void Hunters or players you can play with, I imagine this means that they aren't sure yet. That's my take on it. You can find hidden treasures, bosses and dangers, loot powerful gear, item sets and builds. There's a lot of things here, but it looks like a very basic game, but adding co-op to it is gonna make it a little bit more difficult to make. I do have the game on my wish list, but I'm not big into auto battlers really, but we'll see where I land on this when the game eventually comes out. Of course, there's no release date yet. It's way too soon for that, but we're gonna take a look at another game that Game Smithing is also doing, namely Rogue Soulstone. Now, Rogue Soulstone, much like Veil of the Soulstones, is also based on their Soulstone Survivors game. This one also has co-op, and it's also a roguelike, and it says hard. I don't know, but judging from the gameplay, it takes a lot from the Soulstone Survivors. The assets are there, the characters, the animations, I imagine, for many of the abilities, the skill tree layout. From the gameplay, we only see 4 classes. I imagine there will be more, but we'll just have to see if that's after a while or if they're actually gonna ship with multiple more characters than just 4 at the start. But judging from gameplay, we can also see that a lot of the abilities that we see in Soulstone Survivors is also here. Basically everything from Soulstone Survivors seems to be ported over to this. Now the main difference is, of course, that it's not a top-down anymore. It's more of a dungeon crawler with a third-person camera and all that, and it looks really nice. I actually really like this. I'm looking more forward to this than Veil of the Soulstones. But again, this is also online. I have no problem with thinking they can do online. Of course, they can do online games, gamesmithing. But are they taking on a little bit too much here? Because I believe they're still working on Soulstone Survivors. As far as I know, they're still doing small updates to that, because not every character has gotten their legendary weapon yet either. So there is more for Soulstone Survivors, plus Rogue Soulstone, and now Veil of the Soulstones. And I'm thinking, are they taking on too much, maybe? They did pause Rogue Soulstone for a while working on Soulstone Survivors. And I thought, well, that's good. Focus on one thing at a time. And then they're almost done with Soulstone Survivors, and then they announce a new game? I'm confused. But if we take a look at the gamesmithing and their website, we do see that who we are, founded in 2022. We're a tiny team of passionate developers working hard to create games we are proud of, where fun must always come first. I do like that idea. And here we have their games: Soulstone Survivors, Veil of the Soulstones, and Rogue Soulstone. I'm somewhat confused that Rogue Soulstone is put after Veil of the Soulstones. I'm wondering which of the two are they planning on releasing first. To me, I'd rather see Rogue Soulstone, but if Veil of the Soulstones can be, I don't know, done quickly, I don't know. They should take their time to get all of the games up to a good standard. And I think Soulstone Survivors is already there. It doesn't need anything else except for maybe the additional legendary weapons for the classes or characters, I should say, who don't have that yet. But after that, I think Rogue Soulstone should be the one to focus, mainly because a lot of the Soulstone Survivors assets can be, or I don't know if they can just be ported over, but they can be reused in that game very easily. Now, what has to be done is a lot of other things, but yeah, I think Rogue Soulstone should be the focus after Soulstone Survivors. But scrolling down, we can also see the dev team, and there are 4, 8, 11 people. So not a lot of people here in this, and I can't help but think that maybe they're taking on a little bit too much at the same time, if they're planning on working on all 3 games at the same time. Now, this one only, Soulstone Survivors doesn't require a lot of people, of course. Veil of Soulstones are gonna require some people, and Rogue Soulstone as well. Mainly because of the online thing, I believe. Now, online play is nothing new, of course, but it can still be a tricky thing to do, especially as you also have to balance the game for multiplayer and solo play. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Soulstone Survivors, I believe, have kind of they are thinking of adding multiplayer to that, or maybe it's even in the works. Anyway, looking at at least in some recent updates for Rogue Souls or Soulstone Survivors, we do see that they are planning a larger content update will come in the form of a paid DLC to be announced / released early next year, hopefully. And yeah, I am all for a paid DLC considering the amount of hours I have in the game, but sheesh, they're taking on a lot of things here. Or maybe they're just announcing it, but to me that is a bit too soon of an announcement in that case. But Soulstone Survivor is not the first project from Gamesmithing. We were originally developing Rogue Soulstone before we realized it was a little bit too ambitious for us at the time. So Rogue Soulstone is actually before Soulstone Survivors, but they changed a little bit. Today we are thrilled to announce that Rogue Soulstone will have online co-op multiplayer support and is being rebuilt from the ground up to ensure a great single plus co-op experience. And that is a great idea, but is it still? Are they doing too much? I mean, that's entirely up to the developers, but my take on this is that I hope they don't work themselves to the ground. That's all I can say. And I hope the best for the developers because they are a really good team. They have done some amazing work with Soulstone Survivors, and I'm looking very much forward to seeing what their next 2 games are gonna be like. Well, that's all I got for you today. I've been Swimpy92. Have a great life, and hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.